start to sleep a week in this cocoon, and after 1 week of sleeping, there is coming a moth like this out of these cocoons. When the silk moth is coming out of the cocoon, we cannot produce silk because there is one single filament, one single fiber, which goes around the cocoon, almost invisible, very thin. So when the silkworm comes out, what I have done with the knife, the silkworm is doing by itself. It eats it out from the cocoon, makes a hole. It breaks the silk. So we cannot produce silk when the silkworm is alive. What we have to do, the farmers, they know the right time, they collect the cocoons, and about 70% of one production, they have to kill with steam. There is no other way. 30% they leave aside for the next generation. So we get silk cocoons all the time, all the year, ladies and gentlemen. When the silkworm is dead, what we have to do is we boil them about an hour in hot water. They get soft. It sucks the water inside, and after it sucks the water inside, she is taking this high technology brush. With this brush, ladies and gentlemen, she hits and touches the cocoons. The beginning of the silk filament, what I showed you with my finger, is sticking on the brush. So we catch the beginning part of the silk. Let's see how this is done. Yes. Prepare your cameras, please.
Cool.
These silk filaments, they are extremely thin. If you just use one of this, you break very easily. But to make one single silk strand, one single thread, what we have to do is we take about 30 pieces of these together. When we put them together, they do come through these rings. We do have very little rings here on the side of this loom. It comes through the ring, it goes forward from the ring to the small wheel. From here it goes forward to the big wheel. This big wheel is like a spinning wheel. She is turning the big wheel with her foot, with the pedal, and when she turns the big wheel, the silk comes out of the cocoon, so it gets winded up. Very interesting. In one of these cocoons, ladies and gentlemen, we do have an average length of silk of 1 mile. Approximately 1,500 meters, ladies and gentlemen, we do have an average in one of these cocoons. Let's see the next process. Devam edelim. Oh, could you get the picture? Is it done? Okay.
Thank you.
What she's doing at the moment, she is cleaning the first meters. Because the first meters are not usable for making silk thread, this has to be separated. And this is the clean part of it. So next step, it is coming through the rings. She's not doing this the first time in her life, by the way. But although she did a mistake, so. When she turns the big wheel, look, these ones, the guys which are turning here inside, they get winded up, by the way. There is somebody, please, you may touch and you may feel. Please lift if you want, you can feel how it fits.
Really thin, thinner than a hair.
And this is the standard thickness we do need for making a very, very fine knotted carpet. But if you want to have a thicker thread, what we do is we take more of these together. By machine, they get spun, they get twisted by machine. So this is then the real process to get the material, the final material for making the carpet. We are using, for coloring the silk, we use chemical dyes. We do not use any natural dyes for silk because silk has no pores. Silk is not like the wool. It is not absorbing the color inside. It just colors itself on the surface. So when you do use natural dyes, they fade in a very short time. It takes a very long time. In the past, they did use, of course, natural dyes. But nowadays, we just use chemical colors for coloring the silk. But we use sheep's wool, Angora wool, which comes from the goat. We use cotton and silk. These are the 4 main materials for producing our carpets. Silk is the most interesting one. The other way, sheep shearing, you know how this is done. So we have no sheep to show you how we shear the sheep. But this is the most interesting part in the carpet production, how we get the silk from the cocoon. Have you seen how carpets are done? Yes? Would you like to join one more time? Okay.